Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 7 of my Sonic 06 playthrough, Shadow story. In the last part, we took out Mephiles and beat the level Radical Train in order to catch up to this geezer, Dr. Eggman.
So, what do you want now?
And I still do not like that design for Eggman. I much prefer the more cartoony, red-nosed, fat bastard that he is in all the other games. I don't think a realistic look suits him at all. Then again, Sonic and realism, again, I said it before, I'll say it again, Sonic and realism do not mix.
When you capture Mephiles, you must bring him to me. Then I'll tell you the truth about Solaris.
So that's it. That's basically all we've chased Eggman for. Cutscene we've already seen before.
I knew you'd return. You had to.
And I'm pretty sure most people already are probably going to guess what happens next. What Shadow's next boss fight is going to be. Can't say I'm looking forward to it, but hey ho. Well, looking forward to watching it already. I've already played it. So we get to see Elise being kidnapped again.
It's time to end this.
And it's Shadow to the rescue.
Why are you getting in my way?
I'm Shadow the Hedgehog.
That is still completely badass. Yeah, you've probably already guessed it. We're gonna fight Silver.
Don't get in my way.
No alien sound effects included. So yeah. Anyone who remembers how annoying the boss fight was with Sonic? Pretty much the same thing with Shadow. Collect a bunch of rings and try and stay the fuck away from him, because if he grabs you, he will just slam you against the wall and all sorts of shit. I honestly did not find Shadow's boss fight with Silver as annoying, because there's less, obviously, close range and stuff. Shadow can't do the slide, I don't think, so I have to use the homing attack with Shadow. So, slight risk of not making a quick enough getaway. So, I generally tend to home and attack him, drop down, then home and attack away quickly again.
It's no use.
And the fucking bastard caught me. I mean, there is a slightly bigger chance of getting away. That's why I don't find Shadow's version of the boss as annoying as Sonic's. So, because there is a slightly higher chance that you're going to get away from him this time round. But otherwise the strategy is the same. Try and keep away from him until you hear him shout out. You know, like, it's no use! Then at that point you can go in and go in for the kill. You know, hit him. Take the bastard out. Ah! The only downside to this boss is obviously the camera. And because obviously the area is a lot bigger than what it was with Sonic, you're not always going to find out where he is straight away. And that can be a bit of a problem. Yeah. But I still don't like Silver. I still don't like fighting Silver, I should say. But he's much preferable to Sonic. And I will stop repeating myself now. I will say though that the music for this boss fight is also really, really cool. Ah! touching me, you fucking... Ugh. Yeah. Just wandering around like a ninny looking for the bastard. Just waiting for him to call out. And that's it. Shadow has done what Sonic could not.
Yes.
I mean, yes, there is a boss fight and Sonic can technically beat Silver in that boss fight. But story-wise, Silver then ends up knocking him into a wall. And then the next time Silver encounters Sonic, Silver grabs him and is about to make mincemeat out of him before Shadow comes along. However, in the actual canon story, Shadow does defeat Silver. Shadow is the ultimate life form. But yeah. Shadow only has one more boss to go. Each and every one of the hedgehogs only has 5 bosses in their story.
Chaos control.
Kick in the head. Smackdown.
You don't bother. With the Chaos Emerald's power, I control time and space. You can't break free.
I won't give up. It all depends on me. Can't lose. Not when I'm so close.
Where did that come from?
Chaos
Control!
And these 2 hedgehogs have somehow managed to open up a time warp.
Chaos control.
I won't let anyone get in my way. I'll change the past and save the world.
Where does the time warp lead to?
Nemesis isn't trying to
Well,
help you create a better future.
you'll see in a minute.
To eliminate the past.
What? What are you talking about?
To discover what happened. It seems we must see what took place 10 years ago. Follow me if you want the truth.
Let's go back in time. Do 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 do. Gotta love how this cutscene just jumps straight into it, no fucking load screens. Why can't the rest of the cutscenes be like this? But yeah, we're now back in 10 years prior to the events that are occurring in the present day. Back when the Duke of Soliana was still alive, and when Princess Elise was a dear sweet little girl that didn't have orange legs. I'm assuming the mother of Elise was the Whatsit, because the Duke of Soliana definitely looks human to me. And we definitely know Elise is at least half Whatsit with those legs. So yeah.
Is that?
Here we can see the origins of Iblis and Mephiles.
Black Shadow is the original Mephiles.
That's Mephiles? They're escaping!
We'll have to split up. I'll pursue Mephiles.
Okay, then leave Iblis to me.
Fucking hell, that Duke of Soliana looks a bit creepy. He looks a bit like a zombie. I'm going to eat your flesh. And we're back in this boring stage. This is Aquatic Base. Most people who've actually, you know, seen the Sonic playthrough of this game know that I think this stage is an absolute bore fest, and it hasn't changed with Shadow. It's almost identical to Sonic's stage in various ways, apart from obviously purple enemies, you know, stronger enemies. But the stage is still just as boring as it was with Sonic, and I do not like Aquatic Base. It's a snooze fest. But yeah, a lot of taking out enemies in order to proceed. You get to play as Silver briefly in this level. I may as well get that out of the way now. It's not something I really agree with as such because, well, as far as I'm concerned, Silver's got his own bloody story. So I don't see why he needs to cameo in Sonic and Shadow's story. I can understand the Amigos because they're kind of meant to be sidekick characters. But Silver's got his own story, so why does he need to cameo here? I mean, I understand it would probably make sense for the story, but you don't need to make him playable for part of the level. If anything, if they didn't do that, it would have been much shorter and I would have been less bored. But yeah, there are loads of these bloody worms. And yeah, take them out quickly because otherwise they'll dive into the floor and you'll have to wait for them to come back out. And that can be reasonably annoying. Like, yeah. I don't know how they can burrow into the ground. The floor is fucking metal. And the metal doesn't even break or anything when they burrow into the floor, so what's the point? Finally, we can proceed. And hey ho, we run into Silver. Like I said, I'll probably discuss Silver's gameplay more in depth when I get to his actual story. But yeah, the long and the short of it is that Silver's got psychic powers, and he's the slowest of the three hedgehogs. But anyway, Silver's section in this level is reasonably short. I think it is anyway. It's mostly just taking out enemies and, you know, all that sort of shit in order to proceed. So, got to take out these worms. Commentating on this part is going to be quite difficult because it's just really dull having to constantly repeat, you know, watch a level that I've already technically done with Sonic that hasn't really changed much layout wise. But yeah, it looks like Silver may finally be cottoning on that Sonic's not the bad guy here. So far, Silver's done nothing but try to kill Sonic, so maybe he might be cottoning on that Sonic's not the bad guy here. And that maybe Mephiles, the creepy black hedgehog shadow recolor, might actually be the bad guy for once. But hey ho, back with Shadow. Luckily for Shadow and Silver, I should probably say, you don't have to do this, you know, that bullshit part where you've got that enemy that just cannot be hit. And you remember that part with Tails? And that fucking enemy that just would not die? Yeah, don't have to worry about that this time round. Which is a good thing. Because honestly, that bit annoyed me to no end. Lots of more worms, yay. I mean, haven't we had enough worms for one day? So yeah, just take out all these fucking worms, because obviously you can never have too many fucking worms. And then we can finally proceed this way. I have to be fair, I don't think Shadow and Silver's stages of Aquatic Base is quite as long or as boring as Sonic's, but then again, I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since I played this game. A very blissful long while. But anyway, section 1's already done. We're now moving on to section 2. We're just going to follow on and catch that bastard Mephiles. We can do it. We can get him. So yeah. Oh, Shadow can do a slide. What if... Fuck, didn't... Oh, well, he can do a kick. I suppose that's probably a lot more short, specific than the slide is with Sonic. The anti-gravity slide. I don't know. But nonetheless, let's proceed on. These bloody enemies are annoying. Yeah, got a motorbike here. Again, totally not compulsory. But it's there if you want to use it. So I'm just using it because I can. It lasts for everything, provided you keep shooting. And I think it's actually faster than Shadow. I think it actually moves faster than what Shadow does. Again, these little tube thingies actually take out all the enemies, which is very, very handy. And we're actually going to go this way. I think we've actually reached the end of Shadow Stage already. I think, I'm not entirely sure. But it wouldn't surprise me. Especially considering the time we've got left on the video. Fucking worms! Fuck you, worm. Die. So... just take out these enemies. Yeah, the lava orange ones of these sort of creatures breathe fire on you, but the purple ones like breathe a laser on you, and they're a little bit stronger, but that's really all there is to them. I really don't like having to kill all these enemies just to get to the fucking goal ring. But hey ho, that's it. I'm done with Aquatic Base until Silver Story. I fucking hate Aquatic Base. I'm sorry, but I just do. It's just so boring.
Perfect.
But I got an S rank. That's not too bad. But anyway, now we're moving on to the next part, which yeah, which will be coming up soon, hopefully. See you then.